time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, we got a lot to get to today. It's to get you to the weekend edition of the Patrick Johnson Show here on this Friday. Glad to be back with you. We have Adam Gold from the Adam Gold Show, heard 1 to 3 on the weekdays here on 94.3 The Game. And we'll talk to AG about last night's Miami win in the college football playoff, preview tonight's matchup between the Hoosiers and the Ducks, and then talk about Wild Card Weekend. So that's coming up with Adam Gold in a little bit. Also, our friend Mark Miller from 107.9 WNCT will be back in for a little bit of good old-fashioned fun with Hold My Beer. We're going to revive that here in 2026. All right, we'll get to Pilk in just a second. I know he's excited about this weekend and the Panthers in the playoffs, which you can hear beginning at 3:30 and a 4:30 kick on our sister station, 103.7 WTIB on Saturday. So we'll get Pilk's take on that. A couple of things I wanted to get into here. First, in the here and now, congrats to my sister, Brooke. She is going into the George Whitfield Hall of Fame. You talk about a who's who in sports in the state of North Carolina, and in a lot of cases beyond. They are in the Hall of Fame. Mike Mullis is in the Hall of Fame. You got Cy Seymour in there, Cliff Godwin, the late Jeff Charles. I'm just naming some ECU-related guys, but David Thompson, Phil Ford, anybody who's a North Carolina sports figure is in the George Whitfield Hall of Fame. So it's a prestigious company, and congrats to my sister among the many inductees that'll go in tonight over in Goldsboro at Wayne Community College. Thanks again for all the outpouring. We laid my grandfather, Mr. PK Sr., to rest yesterday, and he is the family's doing quite well given the circumstance. But a beautiful military funeral yesterday. And Pilk, he always wore a hat, Pilk. So we had an open casket viewing Wednesday for the family, and he had the hat, the Korean War veteran hat.
I like it.
And he had a pack of smokes under his hand, too, in the coffin. So
there you go.
All right, real quick, give me your pick before we get into everything. Give me your Panthers pick. I know you're going to be at the game.
Rams by 2 scores.
Wow, even with the deluge of rain?
We're going to need a lot more rain, Right now it's scattered. We need like a monsoon. Week 3, 2011 monsoon.
I got you. All right, we got to get going here. We got Adam Gold in the offing. We'll do Hold My Beer later. It's a full hour. I'll also be on ESPN Plus at 2 o'clock on Sunday for ECU and UAB. Hope you'll tune in.
Back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back. We got a jam-packed show, so let's get started.
Deep breath. Here we go.
All right, great to welcome in our friend Adam Gold. It's been way too long. You can hear the Adam Gold Show middays after Hoisted Colors every weekday here on 94.3 The Game. Adam Gold, AG, in the house here. Look at
What's up?
Looking rugged.
I mean, if you have
I like
to.
it.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be chopping wood later.
Oh, well, you're out. You got the farm. So, yeah, it makes sense. Totally makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
So, does what happened last night further justify the committee leaving Notre Dame out of the college football playoff?
No, I still think Notre Dame should have gotten in over Alabama, but
okay. Well,
that would have
never.
for me.
The
That
talking
would have been the
heads.
same.
Yeah. The talking heads never said that part out loud because we can't have that.
Not well, yes, but here's what we have learned over the years. All losses by SEC teams are justified. Even the team that had the worst loss by a mile among all of the college football playoff at-large teams, Alabama, who lost in week 1 to Florida State, got dominated in week 1 by Florida State, a team that, did they win 5? I mean, somehow that loss didn't really matter.
Florida kept them out. Yeah, Florida kept them out by knocking them off.
Yeah, somehow that didn't matter to the committee, and maybe it's because Alabama is not legally allowed to miss the playoff 2 years in a row. Because I mean, that could be a rule that we don't know. I have not read through the fine print of the college football playoff bylaws. It's not to say that Alabama wasn't a good team. They were a good team, but there were good teams left out. Notre Dame was a good team, and they were left out. So for me, of the three teams that were vying for those last two spots, I would have taken Notre Dame and Miami and left Alabama at home. I'm not sure why losing the SEC championship game, especially in the fashion that they did, I'm not sure why that was an eliminator. Why that wasn't an eliminator. What it is. Somebody's got to win, and Miami's won 3 games, which, by the way, is as many games as the SEC has won in the last 3 college football playoff tournaments against non-SEC teams. So.
I love that little nugget there, the non-SEC team.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. So the SEC gets 5 in. Why? At what point does college football and this committee and even the talking head class on the Worldwide Leader stop, kind of pushing forth this myth that this is some epic and dominating conference?
Well, every year is different, right? I actually believe that the SEC was still the best league. I frankly don't think there was much of a debate about it. They had more teams that could have been playoff teams than any other league. This notion that the Big Ten is now the best league, I know they had 3 great teams: Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana, and basically nothing else. So the SEC had probably 7 teams that were playoff contenders. The schedules were so disparate. The Texas and Texas A&M, if you look at their 2 schedules, I'm pretty sure that had they flipped schedules, Texas A&M would have missed the playoff, and Texas would have easily been in it. Mm-hmm. So Texas didn't miss the playoff because they lost to Ohio State. Texas missed the playoff because they lost to Florida. But they also played a very, very difficult schedule within the league. There were 7 teams that finished in the rankings of the final college football playoff standings, and Texas played 5 of them. They went 3-2 against that 5. Texas A&M played 1 of them and lost. That was to Texas. So the schedules are so different. There's really no good way of doing it. I eventually think we'll get to 16 teams, but I'm not sure that's going to solve all the problems other than maybe the structure of the event. But the SEC has a lot of good teams. What they didn't have this year was like truly great teams. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing. Georgia wasn't great. Alabama clearly wasn't great. They were half a team. Texas wasn't. Texas A&M wasn't. But they were all very good. And a lot of them were, playoff worthy, but probably at the bottom of the at-large pool. But again, records are what records are. I'll be interested to see what happens with Indiana and Oregon tonight. To see who Miami is going to play at Hard Rock. Should be a lot of fun. The Hurricanes were great. I mean, they didn't win all the time. That's the thing. College. I said this to I think it was Dan Wetzel yesterday, and he's been a proponent of the college football playoff for a long time. I don't know why in college football we pretend like even the best teams won't go through dips. It's not, it's shorter than an NFL season where they play 17 games. But the best teams in the NFL go through a patch for 3 or 4 weeks where they don't play all that great. It doesn't even matter who they're playing. And we just accept that for, hey, man, sports. But in college football, apparently, it's unacceptable. So when Miami lost to Louisville, which, by the way, was before Louisville got kind of ravaged with injuries, or when Miami lost at SMU, who happened to be, a 9-win team, pretty good team, in overtime. Those were unacceptable losses, as though the people in that committee room or the people on TV talking about it don't watch sports. It's unfortunate.
Adam Gold with us here. Adam Gold from the Adam Gold Show. Hear him after Hoist the Colors Radio on 94.3 The Game here in Greenville and Eastern North Carolina weekdays. All right, Adam, let me get your primer, your preview on what happens tonight, and who do you like and why?
I like Indiana. I think Indiana's just they're mauling teams. It's kind of amazing that it's Indiana. What an incredible. I mean, I can't even. It's hard to even process this, right? That the Indiana University, not the University of Indiana, Indiana
Right.
University, forever, a basketball school that played football simply to give students something to do until basketball started, much like Duke over the many, many years.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That Indiana is this good, but they are. They invested a lot of money in football. Kurt Signetti clearly knows what he's doing, and they are really good on both lines of scrimmage. He is a brilliant offensive coach, and I expect them to beat Oregon again. I don't think it'll be easy, but I think they will beat Oregon again, and I think we'll have a Miami-Indiana national championship game, and it'll be a blast. Indiana's probably, going to be. I think I saw a future line with Indiana. I think -5.5. They had all the potential lines I saw out yesterday, and I think it was Indiana -5.5. They would have been, I think, 7.5 over Ole Miss or 8.5 over Ole Miss. But hey, look, this is the nature of college football. I think the best part about what the playoff has done, well, actually not the playoff, what the portal has done and what revenue sharing has done is that it is more than I expected. It's spread the talent out. And now you've got, maybe you don't have giants anymore, but you have like a lot of teams that are really good but with some flaws, and it is creating the dreaded P word, parity, at the top of college football. And it just makes it more exciting.
Yeah. Miami, if they were to win the whole stinking thing on the 19th, keeps all the money, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I was curious. I know. I was curious to how the ACC would benefit from. So how would the ACC, as the conference, benefit from a Miami win?
You get to, whether it's right or not, you get to tout having the college football national champion, just like they did with Clemson over the years.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
Look, it doesn't make ACC football better. It doesn't take away two of Duke's losses to to Group of Five teams on the road. It doesn't erase what the heck happened to Clemson with all that. It doesn't erase any of that. But what it does is it allows you to say, hey, we have a college football national champion. And not only that, but in the last dozen years, we've had 3 different schools win the national championship. Like in basketball, for years it was just, it's Duke and Carolina, and the ACC was saying, we're great. And it's hard to be great as a league if you're only winning at 1 or 2 spots. And then Virginia won. And all of a sudden, hey, so we got a third school in. So when it starts spreading through the league, and if Clemson comes back, Florida State, maybe, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in Florida State. They talk a great game without being great. But if Virginia Tech returns to national prominence with James Franklin. Now we're talking about a league that needs to be taken seriously. But it allows you to at least, hold this trophy up that the ACC has a national championship in football.
So last night you have one of the national semifinals, the other one tonight. The championship will be on a Monday. Is that a problem for college football? Because the NFL is not going to cede any ground any at all. And,
No.
I've heard Wes Durham and others talk about the scheduling, and it's been in vogue for administrators and coaches to talk about the schedule, and we need to move things this way and move the portal that way. But as far as the presentation on television, is that problematic for college football?
I mean, we're going to find out the television ratings were pretty doggone good last night and tonight. So could they be better if the games were on a Saturday? Maybe. But I do think that it doesn't benefit the sport to have, especially if you have a bye, to have like almost a month in between games. It just doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't benefit the teams that have the bye. I mean, unless you have like half your team out with injuries that are going to keep, players out for like 3 weeks, it doesn't benefit you to have the bye. What college football needs is to be into the playoff. And I was not a proponent of a 12-team playoff. I was good with 4. Whether I'm right or wrong doesn't really matter at this point. We've got 12, but 16 is a better number than 12 because I think the byes aren't great. But we need to get to the playoff faster. We can't wait. We can't be sitting around for 2.5, 3 weeks. So let's get to the playoff faster. And then, we can have the first 2 rounds on campus sites. This would give the higher seeds even more of an advantage. If one played 16 at home and then one played, let's just say 8 in the second round at home, this would give a little bit more of an advantage. Not only do the top seeds now have to sit around for almost a month, but they don't even get a home game. So it seems like we're doing this very weird. There was a great video from John Gruden saying, wait a second, we have a playoff, but some of the teams are playing in conference championship games, so they have to go and play in this and risk maybe missing the playoff to play in this. We're trying to get to, it was a subtly brilliant, about a 5-minute video with Gruden coming up with an alternative way to do the playoff, and that was even based on a 12-team field. I think we'll be at 16. I don't think we'll necessarily increase the number of automatic bids for group of 5 schools. I think it'll stay at 1. It'll stay the top 5 conference champions. I think it'll probably stay, and the rest will be at large. I think that would be better, but we got to get to it faster. I think the semifinals need to be on New Year's Day, and then the first available Monday, logical Monday, would be the national championship game.
I like that. I also think they're not going to do away with conference championship games. We know that. And I do think you can mix Army.
It all depends on what the money says.
There's
only one of them that makes money. Only one of them. Only the SEC.
SEC.
Yeah, that's the only one that makes money.
But they're not going to give that up, I don't think. I don't think.
Well, it depends.
And then I would be cool to somewhere in that schedule you just laid out, you can place the Army-Navy game. So it still gets its special time slot. You maybe don't air something conflicting with it. I think people would really get behind that because that did big numbers this year. The great
Always
Adam
does.
Gold.
Always does. Yeah.
I love talking to Adam Gold. And I love having Adam Gold on the show. It's been too long since we've had AG on the program. All right.
It has been. Not like you can't. You know where to find me. I'm located.
Every time Victoria wants me on your show, I can't do it because of my other broadcast obligations.
I understand.
I will commit to you now. I'll be on the round table anytime you want here in the next few weeks. So just let me know. I'll be on the round. All right.
I will pass it along to the person who's in charge of that, and she will call you.
Or I'll put Pilkington on there. One of the two. We've put Paul. We've given Paul the number to Pilkington, and I think Paul has finally found somebody who likes to talk as much as he does, and that's Pilkington. So that's they're a marriage made in heaven in many ways. All right, let's turn our attention, AG, to the playoffs. Does the deluge that's in the forecast tomorrow give the Panthers any chance?
I don't think it helps them. It just makes the game sloppier, but I don't think it necessarily helps them. Good thing is, you play on fake grass, so the field's not going to be a mess. But I don't think the weather necessarily helps them. They're going to have to play a great game. My feeling is a similar game plan to what they used in Green Bay, meaning slow the game down, limit possessions, but also at the same time, you're going to have to be aggressive. You're going to have to take your shots down the field. And I don't think what they did in Green Bay was they really took advantage of the Packers kind of, shrinking from the moment. Because that's a game that Green Bay, they wasted their opportunities. I don't think the Rams will do that. I think Sean McVay is a much better coach than Matt LaFleur. Not that Matt LaFleur is not a good coach. I think Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the league. Matthew Stafford is, if he's not the MVP, then he's the second choice behind Drake May. I think he's the MVP, but I think it's going to be a pretty tall task for the Panthers. I don't think the weather will really help them.
Is there, out of the remaining 5 games, a can't-miss game in your opinion?
I think there's actually a lot of them. I think Buffalo at Jacksonville is going to be box office.
Yes, I think that'll be great.
Because I don't think Buffalo's defense is great. So I personally believe we're going to see a shootout there, but I'll ride with Josh Allen. I don't think the Bills are all that great. I think he is.
Sure.
And I think the Bills are going to be in Denver on for the AFC Championship game. That's what I believe. All right. And I think the Bills are going to the Super Bowl, but at the very least, I think they're going to be in Denver for the ACC Championship game. I don't even love Denver, but Denver's only going to have to win one game, and they're going to get the least. Well, heck, they might get Buffalo in the second round, and if that's the case, Buffalo's winning that game. So,
so wherever they match up, Buffalo beats
it'll be Denver Buffalo. It'll be Denver Buffalo in the second round in the division round, and Buffalo's going to win that game.
Okay, interesting. All right. Packers Bears. You got to go to Amazon to find it, but
love that.
Okay,
love the game. It's maybe the best rivalry in the history of the NFL, and I think Green Bay is going to win it. I think the Bears are a bit fraudulent, but hey, they won the division. They won a very good division, so there is merit to that, and they do force a ton of turnovers. But I like the Packers in that game.
All right, I love that you're now picking, so I'm just going to have you pick the other 3.
Sure.
Niners Eagles.
That's the toughest one. I think the best 3 teams in the NFL are the 3 teams from the NFC West. But the Eagles' defensive line is so good, and Brock Purdy has made just enough mistakes to think that he's related to Sam Darnold. That if Purdy can be clean, San Fran wins the game, but he's got to be clean.
Okay.
And the Eagles, I think the Eagles have issues that I don't know that they're going to work out. But I think it's a very, very. I'll take San Fran, but I'm rolling dice here.
Okay. It's the West coming east. Same thing with the Chargers Patriots.
Yeah, I'm not so worried about that. I'm not so worried about the time zone thing. Purdy can't turn it over. They cannot turn it over.
I feel Patriots with Chargers Patriots. How about you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Chargers aren't. I don't think the Chargers are that good.
And then Monday night, Texans Steelers. Who you like?
Houston, I think, has the best defense in the AFC. I think Pittsburgh's going to win the game, and I can't even tell you how. I don't know. I'm not even saying because of Aaron Rodgers, because Rodgers, even within the same game, can be good, can be bad. Don't know, but I think the Steelers are going to get a playoff win for the first time. Gosh, in how many years? Almost 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin hasn't had a good quarterback start a playoff game for him. Maybe since they last won the Super Bowl. The biggest issue is that even when Ben Roethlisberger at the end of his career, by the time we got to this point, he was broken. So he wasn't all that good at this point. Rodgers is better than the end of Ben Roethlisberger. But I just think that they're just mirrors. And I'll take Pittsburgh at home to win this game.
Adam Gold, thank you so much. Great to have you on the program. Enjoy the football tonight and this weekend, and we'll catch up with you very, very soon.
My pleasure, PJ. Talk to you soon, man.
All right, there he goes, the great Adam Gold. Stay tuned. Friday edition, to get you to the weekend edition of the Patrick Johnson Show. Rolling on right after this timeout.
Do you have something you need to get off your chest? Get off your chest.
I am not here for rage. I'm here for revenge.
Did your favorite team blow another game?
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Or is there just something that's driving you crazy?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
It's time to let it all out.
You have made me very angry. Very angry indeed.
With another edition of Hold My Beer.
Hold my beer.
26. Fantastic. Hold My Beer. It's what grinds your gears. You know, be it a slice of life, sports, whatever. Philip the Ref Pilkington, Mark Miller, award-winning morning host from 107.9 WNCT's Morning Rush. I'm merely Patrick Johnson. It's great to have you with us.
What's up, guys?
We're back, Miller, for another edition of the Patrick Johnson Show here. Hey, it's Friday, Miller. I couldn't be any more giddy about the fact that we're heading to the weekend. I really could not. So
I feel you.
It'll be nice to get through the rest of today and this evening, and then maybe have a few minutes tomorrow to just sort of decompress, however it may work out. So. All right. Let's see here, Mike, or Mark. Jesus. And him, too. The good Lord, too.
I brought Mike with me. And Jesus.
Yes, him as well. All right. I'm going to go first. It's my show. I'm going to go first. How about that?
I'm glad you never go first.
Let's go.
I know, but I feel strongly about this. And we just talked to Adam Gold about it. Hold My Beer. The SEC, we handled them with kid gloves for the third year in a row. They're not making the college football playoff. They got 5 stinking teams in this year. At what point are we going to stop pretending, despite what Gold just said on this show, that this is the best league in college football?
But Patrick,
it may be the deepest, but it's not the best.
It just means more, man. I mean, come on.
It does. It just means more in the SEC.
And again, I don't want to oversimplify this, but all of a sudden, when everybody can pay everybody, the SEC's demise has been greatly exaggerated. Kind of interesting how that worked out.
And people talk about the competition within the league as the season goes on. But I'm sorry, what matters? What matters is right now.
End of the year. Yeah, end of the year.
Sorry. Results matter, and results matter in January.
They do. And, guys, I think to Patrick's point with once everybody starts paying everybody, the thing is, I think, Patrick, this is going to stop happening where we have this SEC bias when truly everybody starts paying, right? So there are teams in other conferences paying, for example, Texas Tech, but is the Big 12 paying as a whole? No. Is the Big 12 going to be paying as a whole 1 year from now, 2 years from now? Yes. And I think that is when the change happens, because then you'll have 3 or 4 really good Big 12 teams. You're going to have 3 or 4 really good Big 10 teams. You're going to have 3 or 4 really good SEC teams. But I think right now is all bajillion SEC teams are putting money in, and you haven't seen every other conference follow suit to the depth. So it is still the best conference. You still played the toughest schedule. You still have the best resume. You still deserve to be in. Doesn't mean you're going to win playoff games, but, Texas is like the 7th best team in the conference. They're better than the 4th best team out of the Big 12.
You play who you play and you don't win. At some point, the wins have to matter here at the end of the season. How many teams did you say got in from the SEC? 5. Okay.
Pilkington, that's you had me a little bit with your argument of until you said Texas is better than the 4. No, because Alabama was the 5th team to get in. The runner-up in their stinking conference, and they're not better than anybody in the playoff. They got embarrassed.
No, I'm not saying anybody better than the playoff, but they're better than the 4th best team out of the Big 10 or the 4th best team out of the Big 12.
What does that matter, though? At this point...
I get what you're saying, but you're saying we're putting in too many SEC schools. My question is,
yes.
What conference are you taking from and adding to? Are you saying Michigan should have got in?
No, but this year you would not have taken a conference team. You'd have taken Notre Dame. As much as that would have agitated me because it's Notre Dame, they certainly belonged in over Alabama. Alabama, it was fraudulent. It was embarrassing. But I just look at the whole thing. Teams that know how to spend their money, know how to manage the portal, have embraced this whole thing with rev share and all that, and have scouted appropriately, are the ones that are in a possibility to play for the national championship. By the way, Miller.
Yeah.
Do you root for Miami in this scenario since they are kind of a old school rival of Pitt in many ways?
I would like to thank you for taking this long before bringing up my alma mater. I know the last time I talked to you was before the Military Bowl, I believe, but we won't talk about that. Yes. Well, here's the thing. I know it's good for the profile of the ACC, and Miami got dogged as to were they worthy of getting in, and I'm kind of glad they're shoving it in everybody's face. When I saw them play in the regular season, I thought, that's a team they deserve to be in this thing. Yeah. But, I like Indiana's story. I like this meteoric rise. They don't have all the 5-star guys yet, do they? I know that program's
No, they've
eventually
Coach Logan did a deal on it last night. They actually have 7 combined 4- and 5-star guys.
That's wild. They're doing it without everything that is told to us needs to be done, right? Yeah. Whatever they're doing it without that. I love that story. Indiana, Miami, and I'd be happy with whoever wins. But Miami's already proven their worth, and they've proven, perhaps the argument for the conference in a way by getting this far. So,
yeah,
I'm cool with it.
All right, Pilk, who goes next? But you want to go Pilk, or do you want Miller to go next?
I don't want to follow Miller because Miller's really creative and he's going to come up with something good. Mine's kind of silly, so I couldn't come up with anything better. So mine is we are living in the year 2026. Hold my beer.
All right, thank you.
Hold my beer that your knee being down in college football without being touched by a defender marks you down. Why haven't we changed this rule? This is a dumb rule. I'm fine with it in Pop Warner. You're trying to keep little Johnny from getting clocked by Big Billy, But, these guys are grown-ass men. Half of them now are 26 years old. These guys are my age playing college football. If their knee's down, they should have an opportunity to get up and run until they get hit. They know that, linebacker Smith is barreling down, going to decapitate them. They're grown men. We need to play the NFL rulebook at the collegiate level. Also, 2 feet to catch a pass as well. 1 foot stupid.
You make a salient point, Pilk, till you say something silly like 2 feet. Those guys aren't capable of consistently 2 feet down. The NFL guys are the greatest athletes.
That's true. So I can go either way with that, but knee being down, no, you should have to be down by contact.
I like that. I actually could get down with that myself.
Trying to think, I was just trying to think, like, the 3-point line in basketball. I'm trying to think of, like, differences between college and pro in other leagues. Isn't the 3-point line in college and the pro now the same? It used to not be the same.
It's still bins different. Is farther back than high school, but it's not low. Really, the big NBA difference right now to college or NBA to everything else is the defensive 3-second rule.
Right.
Which is kind of stupid. To keep them from playing zone. That's part of the reason so much crap ISO ball, but that's a whole other conversation. Other than that, baseball, pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Hockey, there's a few little nuance, little small things, but yeah, football is the one with the main rules that are the difference. Like with formations and stuff, what's illegal and an illegal formation is different in college as opposed to the pros, which I don't like. I like the NFL model on that one. You should not be able to have your right tackle as the last guy on the line of scrimmage. So, yeah, I'm saying adopt the NFL rule book for college, with the exception of some of their whack stuff like only 1 yard head start run on an onside kick instead of 5. I mean, let's use the logical college rules, but this the dumb stuff like the knee being down we need to change.
Okay. Look, I'm knee deep in my own hold my beer right now in my own thoughts. Sure, let's go with that. I don't know what to tell you.
No, but you have to admit, Miller, his idea of making the college receivers get 2 feet. I mean, child, please.
I disagree with that completely. With yours, I agree with Pilk. Why not?
These guys are phenomenal athletes.
These guys are phenomenal athletes already. They're literally going to be in college or in pros next year. They're already. A lot of them are already doing it. A lot of them are already doing it. When I'm watching a college football game, I'm seeing them get 2 guys in.
The studs, but the guy who plays Maction on Tuesday night is probably lucky to even get their hands on the ball. So let's not get carried away. All right,
a D1 athlete's a D1 athlete, baby. That's all I got to say.
I'm sure the Maction guy would end up beating Pitt in a bowl game, too. Is it my turn?
Wait, didn't that happen last year?
Shut up. I'm not going to – I've already talked ad nauseum about that bowl game. Congratulations to the Pirates. And I'm clearly not wearing anymore. I've moved on, as you can see. My hometown Philadelphia Eagles. It's Friday before playoffs. And I want to start there with Hold My Beer. What's bugging me is a guy named Kevin Patullo. He is the offensive coordinator of the Eagles. What really bugs me is that every NFL team in the playoffs, I think we can all agree, has their flaws, right?
Yeah.
They all have things. There's an inexperienced quarterback, injuries. They're all valid flaws. All things that, like, okay, I understand. That's a thing that a team needs to improve. They'll get there. It doesn't always arrive at the exact same time. Maybe it'll be a problem. Maybe it won't. The only team that has a flaw that is absolutely ridiculous is my Philadelphia Eagles. And I know that they won the Super Bowl last year, and I shouldn't complain. They have all the pieces to win a Super Bowl this year, but they have an offensive coordinator who looks like he just dressed himself for the first time. It coaches like he just dressed himself for the first time. It's embarrassing. He has no idea how to use all this talent. And I don't want to play armchair coach, but he's forcing me to play armchair coach all season. I'm not a football savant, but I could tell you every instance where every play that would have made a lot more sense was not made. And why now, when you have all the pieces, do you have to have a coach with his head so far up as you know where?
Miller, when your Eagles lose Sunday.
That's a when. Holy smokes.
And when they fire this guy is what you're calling for him to do. I have a name for you I want to roll out there. Mike McDaniel. Would you take Mike McDaniel as your OC?
Pilk is shaking his head. No, big time.
His plays look like something you're playing touch at recess in 4th grade.
Where was he before Miami? I forget.
Miami.
He was in San Francisco for like 1 year.
Okay, and off the strength of that, I've heard good things about him as a coordinator. A lot of these guys as coaches don't pan out, but as coordinator, like Stefanski, people would love to have him as a coordinator. I think you should probably hire him as a coach, too. I don't think Cleveland is the best way to judge anybody. But
Sure.
You might want to look at some of these coaches who are getting released, and if they can come back in a coordinator capacity. I wouldn't. If you've been a coordinator before in the NFL, you've likely done a better job than Kevin Patullo. So, yes, I'd be open to the idea of Mike McDaniel.
I agree with you. And you're right, but he was a coordinator for, I think, 1 year. Mm-hmm. That was it. And his play calling there was fine. But since then, I mean, like I said, it looks like something we were running in fourth grade recess.
Pilk. Tua had some decent seasons before this last year. I mean, he had some okay seasons before, before he got banged up and all that.
He
and
did.
I think I would argue, and I'm no Dolphins fan, I would argue McDaniel is a better coach today than he was when they hired him as head coach 4 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten better. I know Tua had some good years, but still, when you look at the plays, I remember Carolina went down there a few years ago and played, and I was like, man, if these guys were forced to call normal plays, and this was a bad Panthers team.
Normal plays.
No, there's plenty of teams that call normal plays. His offenses get the ball in the hands of the fastest guy on the field and hope he burns everybody. That is all he does. They throw the ball way too much behind the line of scrimmage. They don't even screen passes. They're little swings, dinks, dunks. Get the ball in the fastest guy's hands and hope he burns everybody. And you know what? When you play bad football teams, that works. But if you want to be great and you want to win in the playoffs and you want to go over there and beat Seattle's defense in Seattle, that ain't working.
Look, that's good analysis, but I would literally take my coffee table over Kevin Patullo. This
over
weekend.
Kevin Patullo
Like,
all
I'm
day.
fine. I have not seen what my coffee table can devise, but I would consider it a plus.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not saying get rid of your guy. I'm saying McDaniel needs to be coaching Pee Wee football because he runs a Pee Wee offense. I mean, if he was at the FCS level and he had a star athlete that could run a 4.2, yeah, by all means, they could kick everybody's rear end. But we're talking about the NFL here. Learn to run one pro-style concept to throw a dig route over the middle. I mean, do
Nobody's
something.
Nobody's doing that anymore, Pilk.
Yep.
He's very angry.
Hey, you know what? Denver's doing it. They're a 1 seed. Seattle's doing it. They're a 1 seed. The Rams are running the air raid. They're going to probably go to the Super Bowl. Yeah. No.
It sounds to me like Pilkington wants the return of leather helmets, no face masks. All right, Miller, you have another one.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, forget about the forward pass while we're at it. Hold my beer. I had an idea. It was a brilliant idea. I love it. It was a simple product that all of America needs. And I came up with it, and I can't wait to talk about this on the Morning Rush with Mark and Laura, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.9 WNCT. But then I found out it already existed, and it made me really upset. Will you ever have a really good idea about something, and then you realize you're not the first person to think of it?
Yes.
Sure, all the time.
I was I was at the supermarket, and I couldn't remember if we had, like, eggs, let's say milk, all kinds of things. I hadn't made a list or anything. I was like, I got to pick up one or two things, and I thought, man, this would be amazing. What if there were cameras inside the fridge at precise points, right? Inside the deli section, the fruit, whatever, and all shelves. And I could just access it through my app, right? Like I open an app.
This exists.
The little man wakes up inside the fridge and turns the light on, and I can see everything. This camera 2, camera 3. We do have milk. I don't have to worry about it. And I came home and I was like, this is amazing. I can't wait. This is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to revolutionize the world. That's probably been in existence for years.
Yeah, at least a couple of years.
Yeah.
Here's where you're also flawed on the camera thing.
What's that?
Why you must make a list. Because unless you can zero in and see the date on your milk, because sometimes the milk spoils. Sometimes the eggs spoil.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Make a list. And you don't even have to do paper pen like an old person, like Henry Williams Hinton.
Oh, no.
Take your phone and actually do it in notes, Miller.
Yeah, we have that. We actually have an app for a list thing. My wife can add stuff and I add stuff, but then I forget to do that. Or she forgets. One of us, it's usually me. And I'm there in the store and I got,
So here's the problem with the app and what you're talking about. You and Susan add stuff, but you and Susan aren't the one who eat the last X, Y, or Z. It's
true.
The boys, and we know the boys don't add to the app.
It's true.
They just expect you to have ESP and know that they ate the last, bit of cereal.
It's more than a bit. Yes.
Here's my other thing.
What's that?
You seem like you would avail yourselves of grocery delivery or pickup. I don't like the pickup, by the way. I don't like.
Yeah.
If they're going to shop for you, to me, they need to actually bring it to your abode. Yeah. I like the delivery. I'm cool with the delivery.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about pickup because you still have to go out. So to me, if you're going to go out, you might as well just go in the store.
Yeah, but it keeps you from impulse buying at least.
That's true. The impulse buys. If I'm walking by the snack aisle, beer aisle.
Miller, as a busy morning radio professional that you and I are.
Award-winning, by the way.
Yes, I know. You are. I'm not. Shut up, Pilkington. For you to... I'm surprised Pilkington's not played a cut from 3 years ago and claimed it as new. Oh, that's a deep...
that's good. Yeah.
That's a little shot at Pilkington there. Shut up, Pilkington. When I don't even know what it's... Oh, yes. Sometimes, Miller, if you hit the store right and there's nobody in there...
Yeah.
Just to kind of walk around in the silence of a not crowded grocery store.
It's a nightmare for me. I don't think you understand. I hate...
No, it's great.
Oh,
it's great sometimes.
I hate shopping for anything. I hate even being... Yeah, I hate it. My wife will ask me to go find a certain type of refried beans. That's it. And then I get to the refried beans aisle, and there's 17 different kinds, and some are fat-free, and some are bright-colored yellow, and some are dark-colored green, and I'm sitting there, and I'm sweating. Like, you ever walk into a supermarket, you see a guy just standing there sweating. Come and say hello, because it's me.
I do your saying.
Here's what's great about walking around the grocery store. It's never going to be hot. You walk into a department store, it's always hot. I don't care what time of year it is. Think about it.
Yeah.
You walk into Walmart, that's hand-to-hand combat. Target, that's the Real Housewives of Pitt County just gomming everything up. But you walk into a grocery store at the right time. It has to be the right time. It's cathartic.
I get what you're saying, PJ. If you did not have your wife or your mother or a woman in your life send you in there to get something, if it's just you, and they don't even know that you're there, that's key. They got to not know that you're there because they're going to text you and be like, pick up, purpley,
but you're going to get
pink polka dotted refried beans.
Like the house needs, or you need. It's cathartic, Miller. You need to try it at the right time. You're not going at the right time.
When the heck's the right time? Forget it.
I know this. It's time to wrap this up. All right,
let's go.
Miller. Good luck to your Eagles on Sunday.
You don't seem to have a lot of confidence in them from what you said earlier. I believe it was when they lose.
I think I'm smoking the hopium. Plus, I was also creating content. #content.
You guys have a good weekend. Go Birds.
I'll see everybody on ESPN Plus Sunday at 2 for college basketball, ECU and UAB. Have a great weekend, everybody.